26.2. That's how many miles I ran in my marathon. As you saw in the intro, I signed up for this marathon on August 1st, 2023. From that day on, every day was intentional for that marathon in terms of my everyday nutrition and just everything in general. I made an adjustment from that day until the day of the race, January 28th. I committed to this marathon. To be honest, the month of August sucked, where it was just me getting used to running 20 plus miles a week. Um, in high school, it was the last time I ran so consistently, and it wasn't even reaching the 10-mile mark. So my knees really went through it in August. I felt different kinds of pain that I didn't feel because I've never ran long distance. Um, so that was an interesting, like a rude awakening, I guess. But once I got into September, I started to ease into it. I started to feel better about the running. One key issue that I had was my heart rate. My heart rate kept going up. For example, a 14-minute per pace, and my heart rate would go to 155. Or I would run like 2 miles in the sun. That's it. My heart rate, boom, 155 to 160. It didn't feel as bad as I thought I would. So that was enough to motivate me for the next week, which was a 25-mile week as well. Um, the thing I struggled with the most from this transition was my full-time job. I have a full-time job of 40 plus hours, and I also go to school. So finding a way to fit in my marathon prep to all that was kind of complicated. I had to just make the adjustment and wake up earlier. So I would wake up at like 5:36 a.m. 7 a.m. was my time to run. I would just feel like I would if I was a race day. I tried to do everything the same. I started my mornings like that, so it actually gave me a clear mind starting my day. It actually helped a lot. And that leads me to fueling. So fueling was also a journey in itself because I had no idea the amount of fueling that you need for this type of run, for this type of race. Anything above 6 miles, I think you need to start fueling like intentionally with every a certain amount of miles. I started with the fueling August like 20th. I started to look into fueling. I started with the goo packs. Those goo packs, I mean, they weren't that good for me at least. It just didn't sit well in my stomach. So I would run a certain speed, and then all of a sudden my stomach started hurting, and then just the gels didn't work for me. Then the honey stinger, the waffles were good, but the gels were a little too thick, so I had to wash them down with water. So I didn't like that. I found Nick Bear's channel, BPN. So I started watching his stuff. He was training for CIM, but he was trying to go like sub 243, which is insane to think about. I hopefully hope to get there one day. But yeah, I saw that his fueling was his own brand, a BPN. So I decided to order his electrolytes and his G1M Sport, which is a carb drink to get before your race and maybe drink maintaining the race or maintaining the run. And I actually helped me a lot. I digested it very well. I didn't have any issues. When it came to the piece of his gels, I bought a pack. I tried them. It was like applesauce. It was super like easy to digest. I loved it. It tastes really good. So that was the fueling. I fueled like that, and then I drank. I would say I would start my runs with 600 to 800 milligrams of sodium before every run, because I felt like that was my best way of hydrating to not get cramps. But I was running with not that much sun, so it was helping. Then I would start with like a bagel, cream cheese bagel. Then I would have a yogurt, and that would give me around 80 grams of carbs. Then I would have the gel within the run, so that gives me another 24 grams. So I would be sitting at a decent amount of carbs for the run to maintain. From August all the way to December, it was just a constant. I made my own plan of 19 weeks long. I did use a lot of different places where I did my research. I put it all together into my own type of like run that would fit my schedule. I suggest you do the same. if you plan on preparing for a race. Good things about training for this marathon was the lifestyle change. So running was like it just started becoming a lifestyle. So I couldn't go about my day without at least having a little small short run or an easy run because it just started to become that like useful. Like every time I finished a run, I felt good, and I would brainstorm ideas and stuff for videos, and you know it just it felt good. When it came to race day, I was just super excited. I was just stoked to be there. When I sat down, when I sat down and started stretching at the in front of the Kaseya Center, I just it was like a surreal moment. Like I'm actually running a marathon. Like what am I doing here? Type of situation where I just didn't feel real. Not to mention it was like 5 a.m. So I was like awake but not really. I mean, I never really went to sleep the night before just because of how excited and nervous I was for the race. But when I did get there, I was just looking at everybody around me, and it's just like people of all ages, of all just men, women, people of like everything, like all over the world, Colombians, Dominicans, uh, from everywhere. Just a bunch of people that I talked to, and I met a couple of people from Michigan, and I met a couple of people from just not from Miami. So when they felt this like weather, they were like, "It's so hot here." I'm like, "Yeah, this is not favorable for a marathon for you guys, I guess." Was my first mistake, which was asking to get moved up a corral. So I was in corral F, and I asked to get moved up to E, which is the 355 pacer. So that pacer, she was very nice, but I talked to her and I told her, hey, I was trying to go sub 4, but do you think pushing to 355? She said just to be careful, but I listened kind of, and I stayed. I decided to stay there. So when the race started, I started with the 355 group. So I was 20 minutes off the horn, which is the initial start of the race, and we started, our corral went, and I stayed with the 355 group from mile 1 to mile 13 and a half. I was cruising at 8:35 pace, 8:40 pace, and I thought, oh, I might crush this. Like, this might be, like, crazy, like, way better than I thought it would be. And then something happened within, like, the 13 to 14 mile transition that I started cramping up on my left leg. So my left calf started cramping up a little bit, and I don't know if it was the heat or if it was, I don't know. I don't think it was my hydration because I hydrated in every aid station. And also I had the gels every 5 miles, which was the plan. So I started cramping up my left calf, and then I just started to slow down. And then it got to a point that I just started walking on mile 14, and that's when I lost the 355 group. And then I would just walk and then run and then walk and then run, and then it was just I lost all momentum. On mile 15, I met this lady who she's ran over 50 marathons in her life, and she's at the age of 50, and she told me based off of her experience to just not let your ego take the best of you. So she really said, like, just it's okay to walk, like it's just the time, like it's your first marathon, learn from it, gather your thoughts after, and move forward with it. Well, I ran pretty fast. I ran like a 9:30 pace. Not fast, but it was with all I had. And then when I got to the finish line, it felt so just not real. I don't know. Like I was like, oh my god, I just crossed the finish line to a marathon. I didn't even care about the time. I was like, oh my god, I did this. And I just remember them calling my name, and this felt different. Like I don't know how to explain it. Like all that hard work, all those weeks of waking up at 7 a.m., 6 a.m., even 5 a.m. to go run. All that time I'm on vacation, and I decide to go for a 6 mile or 10 mile run, or it's just all that just comes full circle, and it's like one of those moments where you really cherish it. Like all that hard work came to something. I wasn't happy with my time. It was 4:45 in like 30 seconds. I'm just gonna learn from it. Only down from here, I guess, the time. Only up from here. I'm excited to see what the future has in store. But this race was very fun. I do recommend whoever's considering signing up for running in terms of a half marathon or a marathon, just do it. I mean, don't listen to anybody else. Just listen to yourself. If you feel like you can do it, and just do it. Like, it's train for it. I'm gonna sign up for the next one because I have that chip on my shoulder of I can't do 4:45 again. There's no way. I gotta go sub 4 at least once. I mean, hopefully I can train to go like 3:30 one day. But that's something I gotta like put in the work for it, not talk about it so much. And yeah, as you see in, I'm gonna start posting on YouTube. This is my first YouTube video in a while. But my YouTube videos aren't going to be too much about running. I mean, my running's going to be part of my life, but it's going to be more about lifestyle videos and vlogging and all that. I can't wait to post videos like that. A lot of new things coming. I'm moving soon, and I'm just excited to share all that on YouTube. Thanks for watching, and yeah, peace.